Welcome to the Big Movement Podcast. If you're ready to create results and make huge strides in your business, finances, personal development, and health, then you're in the right place. Pushing past excuses and powering through procrastination can be a challenge alone. Here, you'll get the support, tools, and knowledge you need to get to the level you desire in your business and life. Let's get started with your host, Byron Ingram.
And welcome to another episode of the podcast. And today we are talking about milestones, as it is episode 200. You know, every journey has a beginning, and it also has a destination. However, along the way, there are milestones that must be reached first. You see, an often overlooked part of this journey we're all on, this entrepreneurial journey, are the milestones that we must achieve along the way. Usually, when it comes to creating success in business, the emphasis is placed upon solely the end goal. Think about that. It's like you go for the finish line, just give it everything you got. However, rarely does someone go from standing still at the starting line and poof, they're at the finish line. It doesn't happen this way. Usually what happens is people go through a series of milestones first that are a collection of smaller objectives that ultimately lead them to the destination. You see, each of these milestones is an important step along this journey because they're building, the building blocks that must be set in place first. The best way to create milestones for any objective is to break that major goal down into its subcomponents. You want to determine what accomplishments that must take place prior to the major goal. For example, if a person wanted to run a full marathon, how many half marathons, 10Ks, 5Ks, etc. would someone have to run in order to be ready for the major objective? See, it doesn't matter what type of business it is, we have to think of things along the same way. Because when you establish these milestones, it helps focus our resources accordingly to know what we will need to do to achieve our goals. Because if we don't know what we have to accomplish first, how will we be able to cross that finish line? Because we don't know what victories we need to happen in our lives first. And you see, the bigger the purpose behind them, when you think of these large goals, the bigger the purpose is because we want to achieve them. And the only way to do this, we have to create micro victories. Because in business and life, let's face it, everybody loves to win. Let me ask you this. How many times have you met someone and they said, you know what, buddy? I love to lose. I was born to lose. I challenge you to pretty much say that you've never met anybody that is, they say they want to lose all the time. No one does. Everybody loves winning. And here's the thing, if we do not win for an extended period of time, most people become discouraged and just give up. We must find ways to create these smaller victories in our journey because this helps us stay focused and motivated to achieve our goals. And it's important for each of these milestones that they remain relevant to that larger goal in hand. See, it doesn't serve any purpose if these micro victories, these milestones, if they do not maintain focus on what we're trying to do to achieve a larger objective. For example, using the whole marathon thing, let's say you want to run that marathon. It doesn't do you any good. Let's say if you can compete in a 100-mile bike race, or you can be able to hike in the Himalayas. It doesn't mean that you're going to be able to effectively run that marathon because it's different goal in mind. So things must remain relevant to it. Otherwise, you're accomplishing something else that doesn't necessarily help you reach that goal. So you see, the easiest way to identify what milestones you should have is to simply ask yourself a question. What must I accomplish first before I achieve my end goal? It could be 1 or 2 milestones, or it could be as many as 100 or more. It will all depend on the complexity of what you're wanting to achieve. So just look at another way. Taking the example of running a marathon. You know what the steps that you need to build up to it. You have to run those 5Ks and do that successfully, the 10Ks, the half marathons, and so forth. It's going to be a simple process. Then let's say that is look at a historical example. In the 60s, when the U.S. decided to go to the moon, it wasn't like, all right, let's just build one rocket and poof, we're there. It was a long series of milestones that ultimately led to that happening almost 10 years later. So this is the way we have to shift our perspective on why we must have these micro victories, because they keep us moving forward towards that big goal so we do not get discouraged. The most important thing for you to do right now is to identify them and begin working on those micro victories, those milestones, so you can ultimately reach your end destination. So do this today, and I encourage you, share this episode out there, because people need to understand the importance of setting these milestones to accomplish these larger victories in business and in life.
Thanks for listening to the Big Movement Podcast today. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Now that you've surely been inspired to take your entrepreneurial career and business to the next level, you can stop by the website and get more. And if you're ready to boost your business brand, be sure to grab your free report, 7 Easy Steps to Build Your Brand Today.